All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Modern Leadership. Not only the podcast, but we're going to be streaming this onto YouTube. Super pumped to have another coaching session today with the powerful Erin. She is a member of our team here on Modern Leadership. Really powerful, not only life coach, but virtual assistant, and we'll probably get into that a little bit. But Erin, if you could do me a favor, and just start off by telling us maybe a little bit about you, a little bit about what you do for business, and then we'll jump into any question, anything that you have, burning challenge, anything that we have that we can actually coach you through today. So do a quick intro for us, like who you are, what your family looks like, and what your business looks like.
Hello. Okay, great. So I'm Erin, and I'm married, and I live in New Hampshire. We've got two amazing kids. They both have summer birthdays. So I have one that's turning 10 and one that just turned 17. My 17-year-old is about to be a senior. So all the feelings.
Scary.
Yes.
Scary. So what do you do for your business?
I am a virtual assistant and a life coach, certified life coach. And I've got a couple other things going on too. So
we're going to talk all about that. But for everybody who is in our audience, you probably know who Erin is. She's the one who does all of our social media management. She also is great as a coach. So I know her time is actually kind of limited right now, but she might be available if somebody does need some additional help as a virtual assistant, but also as a life coach, because when you have those two mixed together, it's beautifully how you're able to tackle everything in the inbox. Erin, I just want to say hats off to you. I don't know how we would do this without you.
Thank you.
But that being said, I want to jump into coaching. Anything that I can do to help you through, whether it's a challenge you're facing, something you're working on right now, what can I help you with today, my friend?
Okay. So in large part, thanks to you, my plate is filling up quick, and I love what I do. I absolutely love it. And I'm not looking to cut anything back. I'm actually looking to take on more. Mm-hmm. I have a need to increase income and keep a steady track with that without having to add an unmanageable workload to my plate. Mm-hmm. Work smarter, not harder is what I'm working on.
Okay. So is there a specific situation or time where this came up where you felt like, oh my God, maybe I'm taking on too much, maybe I'm overstepping my bounds? Or is this just kind of an overall, I need to take an overhaul and look at everything that I'm doing in my business to see where I have the most opportunity to continue to grow and take on more? What do you think?
It's both, because I'm an introspective person, so I'm always looking at what I'm doing, what can be improved, mm-hmm. and what's going well. Okay. So there's that, just the constant overview. But then I'm also part of a VA community who's helping me scale and make a portfolio, make packages and stuff for my services. And part of that is applying for new jobs. So I'm going, can I really do that?
Okay. So can you take me through the last time that this happened where you're like, can I really do that? Right. And here's the thing, when our brain asks us those kind of questions, believe it or not, our brain has the answer in there, and it kind of hints to it by asking you that question. Right. So in reality, your brain will be can I really do that? But deep down inside, you're like, I can't do that, right? That's kind of the evilness that our brain tries to get out, right? Is I can't do that, right? So let's think about a specific situation that you were going through. And then, yes, I will give you some mentoring a little bit at the end, because this is one of our superpowers, being able to identify what moves the needle the most, right? But also, I want to hear about a situation that maybe you were experiencing, whether it was when you were in this VA group, when you saw something in there, when you went to reach out to someone. Give me an idea of what was happening in that moment.
Yes. So part of the VA group is checking in every week with how many jobs I've applied for and how many proactive outreaches, which is basically reaching out to a business saying, hey, this is what I do. I love what you're doing. I think I can help you spread your message. Mm-hmm. Let's talk. So in that check-in process, I'm going, oh, I didn't do that this week. And then the voice comes in, if I apply for these things, if I reach out, can I actually take them on?
And what do you think when you say, can I actually take them on? What comes up for you?
What comes up for me is I want to make sure that I'm still serving my current clients because, like I said, I enjoy it. I'm not looking to cut back. So I want to make sure that I don't drop any balls. while I'm picking up new ones.
Right. So here's the thing. So going back to this time when you went to go check into the group, right? And it was about like, how many proactive requests have you made for companies, right? And you had this thought of like, by the way, this is the deep thought. This is like the subconscious stuff. Maybe in the top of your mind, you're like, well, can I actually do this? Right? But deep down inside, we have this like thought or belief. It's like, if I take on more people, I'm actually not going to be able to serve my current clients. So when you think that, how did that make you feel?
Okay, that makes me feel like I should just stay where I am.
So if you were to think about that in a feeling in your body by one word, what would that word be? If you're like, I feel like I've got to stay where I'm currently at and I can't move forward. What feeling comes up for you?
Is stuck a feeling?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
A lot of people will say that, right? They have you can have it be a story as well, where like, I feel like I'm stuck. But when you're thinking about this thought of like, if I take on more clients, more people, more clients, I cannot serve my current ones.
Yeah, I don't think that's a story. I think it's a feeling here.
Yeah. And so the feeling is stuck. So when you felt stuck in that moment, what were some of the things you did?
What are some things that I did? I listened to more of the lessons in the VA class because, of course, that's going to get the job done. I went back to current client list and say, okay, well, I'm not wanting to let these people down. Let's work with what I already have. And yeah, that's what I did.
Okay. What are some things that you didn't do in that time?
I didn't do those outreaches or check the job board for opportunities.
Now, when you're here, taking these actions of, listening to more lessons, doing more learning, and instead of the action taking, right? Going back to your current clients list to make sure that you don't let them down, right? And that you didn't do those outreaches, reach or check the job board for new opportunities. What are some of the thoughts that you're having in that moment about the possibility of you succeeding at what you're doing?
The thoughts are, I'm doing a lot of reminding myself that the way that I got this job in the first place and the clients that I have is by taking it on and figuring out as I go. So I feel that pull to still go out and explore what else is out there.
Right. So it's like this back and forth of head versus heart, right? Because that's a heart voice where you're like, you know what I've done before is this. And we want to get there. We want to be able to get there. But in the moment when you're like, but if I take on more clients, I'm actually going to lose my old ones or not be able to like do the things that I told them I was going to be able to do. And so you feel like you're stuck and you're like, I've got to learn more lessons. I've got to like take a look at my current clients. Like when we think about the head voices that could potentially be coming up when you're like, how am I going to do this? Like if I do this, I'm actually going to be pulled away from the people that I really enjoy working with right now. Is there any other thoughts that your brain is trying to grab onto to get you to feel like this is like the nuclear option? It's going to be the end of the road.
Okay. I think that pretty much sums it up. Nuclear option. Yes.
Right.
So yeah, I guess there is a little bit of fear in seeing what else is out there because my brain is also telling me, what if it's just completely out of the scope of what I normally do? I feel like I can learn. I know I feel like as a voice too, but I can learn anything. But it's that process that I'm afraid of.
Right. So when you're doing those things, when you're taking those actions, what do you think you're manifesting or creating in that situation?
Stuckness.
Right. And one of the things that, like, if we think about the story of if I take on more clients, I can't serve my current ones. Basically, what we're saying is we're saying we can't find any new clients, because if we find new clients, that's actually going to sabotage the ones that we have. And so what we actually manifest is that we can't find any clients, right? Because we're not thinking of other ways outside of what our current head voice is telling us that would even give us the opportunity to find that, right? So you really are in this place where, you feel like you're stuck. Now, that is not the truth. It's just what your brain currently wants you to believe.
Yeah.
Now, you know why, because you're a coach, but I want to hear it. I want to hear you verbalize out loud. Like, why do you think your brain is trying to get you to convince you that you're stuck and that you can't find new clients?
the brain keeps us safe. It knows that I have anxiety about exploring new opportunities and being put in new situations with new people. So it's trying to keep me comfortable.
Yes, 100%, 100%. And my guess is that when you think about what you actually want to create, that you not getting clients, you not being able to serve them, you not being able to help them when they really truly need someone like Erin in their life, that's something that pulls you while having that opposite effect of like, but if I take on more, I'll actually lose the current ones or not be able to help support them. So can you see how when you focus on that story of if I take on more clients than my other ones I'm not going to be able to serve, actually gets you to manifest and create that you actually aren't able to take on any new clients and you're convincing yourself not to.
I see it.
So when we think about like the heart voice in this situation, and we could ask ourselves a number of questions, right? We can ask ourselves questions related to, and this is what we typically do in our certification. We talk about like, why is it that you want to help the people that like new people, right? Why is it that you want to be able to help spread their message in a way that actually gets them to save time so they can do the things that move their business forward the most, right? So that you could step into your strength and allow them to be able to tap into their strength. Now, that is one path that we can go down, but I kind of want to go down a different path with you today, Erin. I want to go down a different path. And the reason why is because you have done this before. You've felt uncomfortable. You've reached out. You've started conversations. And because of that, you've formed some really great, not only opportunities, but connections and friendships with people. Me being one of those. All right. And so when you think about the fact that you had all of these situations and circumstances that you were facing in the past, but you made a decision and you focused on a story that got you to do it anyway. And then because of that, you're where you're at right now because you were willing to be uncomfortable. You were willing to step out there. I really want you to go back into that frame of mind. And I want you to think about what was it that got you to get past that, to find it as an opportunity rather than as something that you're fearful of. And then which gave you the ability of creating the fruitfulness that you have right now. So what do you think it was that you were telling yourself back then that got you to do that?
So last time this happened, it was a client who had referred me to another coach. And she said, hey, reach out to this person. I told her all about you and she wants to work with you. And of course, there's that initial wave of fear, but then it turned into excitement quickly. So I got really excited about what I could do to help because I knew that I could.
So I'm sure you know what you did there, but you took the fear and you reframed it to excitement. I'm curious, what do you think you did to make that fear turn into excitement? Because a lot of people out there right now are like, I'm in the fear stage and I don't know how to turn this into excitement. So I want to hear from you. Like, what do you think you did?
Yes, that's one of my favorite strategies. Mel Robbins, thank you, Mel Robbins. She has said that fear and excitement, or nerves and excitement, are the same thing in your body. It's just your brain that knows the difference. And that, to me, made a huge difference. Instead of saying, oh, I'm so nervous, and then it gets more nerve-wracking as you go, I tell myself, I'm so excited. And then think of the outcome I want. I'm so excited to meet this person and help her spread her message. And it's not automatic, but it's pretty quick that it works.
And I'm super proud of you because this is the deepest level of what we call self-coaching, right? It's literally what I wrote my book on, is being able to, in the moment, have that fear mechanism come up of like, maybe I can't take on this extra client. Maybe I'm afraid of what's going to happen. Am I going to say the wrong thing, right? And instead, like you said, like fear and excitement is the same feeling in your body. It's just that your brain gets to tell the difference, right? And you get to decide, which is beautiful. I love how Mel Robbins talks about this. You get to decide which one it is. Not automatic. You get to decide. And if you are in this new story of like, I'm actually really excited to meet this person and help her spread her message, then that creates an entire feeling in your body. What do you think that makes you feel when you're thinking about how excited you are about helping them spread their message?
I know it's funny to put this word with excitement, but there's a calm that came with it.
Oh no, that kind of feels the same way for me. It's like calm. It's kind of like I'm stepping in. This is what I do, right?
Yeah,
everything's
the
cool,
voices
calm.
quiet down, and you
100%
focus.
100%. One of my mentors said that what he tries to do is he tries to become the lowest heartbeat in the room. And for me, when I step into a room, even when I was a police sergeant, I was like, how can I be the most cool, calm person in the room? Because energy is contagious. And when you are calm, believe it or not, even in life and death situations, other people will start to become calm, right? So I really love that. So when you have a feeling of calm, what are some things that you do?
I am able to focus and zero in on what it is I'm after. So in that moment, I reached out to the person and brought all my energy. And I got to say, I nailed it.
I love it.
We had a great talk, and it's been going amazing.
Mm-hmm. When you think about that, even just right now in this moment, when you think about how you reached out, you had a great conversation, the energy was on point, and now you're actually able to step in and help her share her message. What are some of the thoughts that are coming up for you right now?
I feel like this is what I am supposed to be doing. I've spent the last 5 years knowing that I did not want to work a regular job, trying to figure out what it was I wanted to do. And when I'm in that zone, it's like, yeah, this is it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So you said I'm able to focus on what I'm after. I reach out to the person. I brought all my energy and I nailed it. It's been great to be able to connect with her. And the thought process you had is this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Isn't it crazy that when we think about like the story change, right? You change from the story of like, if I take on more clients, I can't serve my current ones, to I am so excited to meet this person and help her spread her message, that it just totally transforms everything, right?
Yes.
And then what we actually manifest, what do you think you manifest in this situation or create?
That I had time, and I still have time for my current clients. She worked into my schedule beautifully, figured it out.
100%. How do you think you figured it out?
I got creative with my scheduling. I am working later, but I've realized that doesn't bother me because I enjoy what I'm doing. So I'm getting up a little earlier, working a little later, but I realize that running away from that isn't what makes me happy because I enjoy what I'm doing.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And here's the thing, like what you just said right there is like, I got creative with my scheduling. That is also a story that you can tap into because you know you've been able to do it in the past. Now it's a matter of like, how do I continue to get more creative with my scheduling, right? And that's kind of where I want to tap into for this last like 3 or 4 minutes in terms of mentoring, okay?
Okay.
So here's the thing. We have the same facts. The facts are you're checking into the group about these proactive requests, right? And instead of going to the path of your head voice, which is like, I don't know if I can take on more clients. If I do, I'm going to actually have to not serve my other clients. We have a story, and it could be either of these stories. It could be both, all right? Is like, I'm actually excited to actually connect with new people so I can help them spread their message too. And I know that I always can get creative in terms of my scheduling and how I can figure it out, right? And so when you tap into that, it gets you to, even if you haven't reached out to people, you're like, game on. I'm coming from a place of calm. This is what I do, right? And so you reach out, you start having conversations. Now, of course, what we also want to do is we want to solve for the scheduling things that you have coming up on your plate, right? And so how we do that is I want to jump into mentoring, because this is a lot of what I do in like one-on-one coaching and in our success pods, is going in and solving the problem in advance. Because here's the truth, like just thinking in your heart voice is not going to make your schedule come together beautiful. And if you have 1,000 clients, like, and you haven't changed anything, right? Then you're going to run into some problems. And so what we can do is we can really head this up, right? And we can start asking ourselves questions like, what is a way that I can identify my most important activities, the things that I do that move the needle the most, and make sure I continue to do it? And just like I teach people that I help, how can I outsource or eliminate or remove the things that don't move the needle, right? So Erin, I know you are super laser focused with time. I mean, I get a timesheet from you and it's like 19.03 hours. And I'm like, oh my gosh, your time. My thing is like, okay, when you're in that space, like how can we take the things that you implement in everybody else's business and implement them into yours, right? So thinking about what moves the needle the most for you. What are some things that don't move the needle the most for you that you can outsource, that you can maybe get this amazing husband you have called Wes to be able to help you with, that you could get some of your kids to help with. Like there's things that like you do that need to be done, but they don't necessarily need to be done by you.
That's true.
And then there's things that absolutely have to get done by you because they're your magic. They're your superpower. They're the things not only people pay you for, but people come to you for advice to be able to help them tackle, right? And so when we think about these things, we got to take a look at our schedule and go, okay, what are some things that maybe I can remove, do less of, or maybe outsource myself that would make sense for me to outsource so that I can open up the schedule and find more clients, right? One of the things we don't want to do is just constantly add without taking away. Mm-hmm. Now, you already said this other piece, and this is just another piece of mentoring that I want to bring up, and that is like how we deliver. We can get super creative on how we do it and start changing up some of the processes that even we use if we can find more ways of, like, let's say, systematizing things, right? So I know for you, sometimes you personally will go in and post and put things up on people's social media. What if there's a way of you finding some type of system, you may even have this, that actually can do it in a way that doesn't require you to personally post every single day, but it's a way of you being able to stack it up front and kind of doing it all at once so you don't have to worry about it for the whole week, right? These are just all ways, and it's fueled by this question, is how can I achieve more without having to do more? Mm-hmm. Right? It's like, how can I achieve more without having to do more? It doesn't just mean me adding things to my plate. It means I've got to get more creative. And I know you, Erin. I'll send you a message going, hey, Erin, we got to get more people on the workshop. What ideas do you have? And you'll have like 13 ideas. And I'm like, those are awesome. Let's do all those. And you're probably like, damn, I shouldn't have told him about all 13 of them, right? But it's because you're in this place of like creativity, and your creativity is off the charts. So I want you to start thinking like creatively, going, okay, how can I achieve more without having to do more, right?
Okay.
All right. So I know it's been about 22 minutes. I'd love to get your takeaway from this session. Like, what is something based off of what we talked about that you can commit to doing moving forward? And then I want you to definitely reach out to me and let me know how you're doing it. But I'd love to hear what your takeaway is and what you're committed to doing as a result of this call.
I am committed to finding some automations that I can set up, and that awesome husband and those kids. Yep. Giving them things to do.
I love it. For sure. Wes is going to thank me for that. All right?
Oh, yes.
He most definitely will. Okay. So committed to finding automations, and then your kids and your family, getting them to be a part of it. And one of the beautiful things, Erin, is when we do bring our family into it, sometimes they think that all we're doing is playing computer games all day on our computer, and that we're just talking to people and whatever.
Yes.
When they see what we're actually doing, the messages that we get back when people are like, you've literally changed my life. You've made it so that I can actually spend more time with my family and get my business work done. Like, that's really where the family can go, oh my God, like, look at this. Look at what mom does. This is powerful. This is so incredible. I could do this too. And so when we actually bring them in, I don't want you to think that you're just giving them work. I want you to know, like, you're actually setting them up for success because they're getting to see all the great things that you're doing for people, and they get to experience that too and be proud of their mom and for what she's doing. And that's always the greatest way to model the behavior for them, so they can go, wow, I can do this too. Like, this is something that I can do. So super proud of you for doing that, Erin. You better believe I'm going to reach out and I'm going to connect with you. I'm going to see how those automations and Wes is doing. All right.
Please do.
Yeah, for sure. But let me also give people a way to connect with you just in case they do want to reach out and get some support, because I've gotten so many messages from people recently that are like, oh my God, Erin has changed the game for me. She's literally given me back my life, and I can still not only do things as well as I was before, but even better. And I'm able to connect with more people because of Erin. So if there's somebody out there who does want to connect with you and wants to hear a little bit about what you're doing, how can they connect with you?
Yes. So, please don't be afraid to connect with me. I do have time. On Facebook, I'm just Erin Rauch. It's just my name. And Instagram, it's the.empowered.mom.
I love it. I love it, Empowered Mom. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys very much for making it to the end. Thank you, Erin, for leaning in. Everybody, I hope this was powerful. And when you think about the things we talked about today, all of these things are universal. Yes, getting on, having a coaching session is really powerful, but sometimes when we get to watch what everybody else is going through and the things that they're going through, we can ask ourselves, how does this apply to me and what I'm doing in my business? And we ask ourselves a powerful question like that, we can get really powerful answers. So thank you for being willing to do that, Erin. Thank you for everybody in the community being willing to do that too. Thank you for what you do out there every single day, and keep leading from the front, team. Bye, everybody.